You walk past someone wearing a specific perfume, and suddenly you're not in this moment anymore. You're back in a car, 10 years ago, with someone you haven't thought about in months. No photo did that, no song did that, just a smell, gone in 2 seconds, and you're somewhere else entirely. Why does scent do this, when sight and sound usually don't? The answer starts with basic anatomy. Every other sense you have, sight, sound, touch, roots through a brain structure called the thalamus first. Think of the thalamus as a switchboard operator, sorting information before sending it along. Smell skips that step completely. Your olfactory bulb connects almost directly to the amygdala and the hippocampus, the brain's centers for emotion and memory. Nothing filters it, nothing slows it down. A smell reaches the emotional core of your brain before you've even consciously identified what you're smelling. Psychologist Herz has spent decades studying what's now called the Proust phenomenon, named after the writer who famously described a childhood flooding back the instant he tasted a particular cookie. In her research, she gave people the same memory cue. Once as a smell, once as a photo, once as a word. The smell version consistently produced memories rated as more emotional and more vivid than the exact same memory triggered any other way. Same memory, same person, completely different intensity, depending on which sense delivered it. Here's the twist that makes this even more interesting. Neuroscientist Yaara Yeshurun ran brain imaging studies looking specifically at first-time associations. The very first time a smell gets linked to an experience. She found that this first pairing gets locked in with unusually strong activity in the amygdala and hippocampus. And once it's locked in, it tends to stay locked in, resistant to being overridden later. A visual memory gets reshaped every time you recall it. A smell-based memory seems to survive largely intact, sometimes for decades. Which is why the smell of sunscreen can drop you straight back into a single summer. Why the smell of a specific soap can put you back in your grandmother's bathroom, exactly as it was, even if she's been gone for years. Why one perfume, worn by one person, at one specific point in your life, can undo you in a hallway, with zero warning. None of this is nostalgia in the usual sense. It's closer to a direct wire straight into the emotional core of a memory, bypassing the parts of your brain that would normally soften it, edit it, or file it away neatly. So the next time a random smell stops you completely, mid-sentence, mid-thought, that's not your imagination overreacting. That's the one sense your brain never learned to filter.